The following week, the dynamic between Kai and Ren continued to evolve in ways neither of them had anticipated. Their playful jabs were now laced with an underlying current of warmth, each teasing remark cloaked in a growing familiarity that made their encounters electric. It was as if they were dancing around something unspoken, something that tugged at both of their hearts. It was another late night at the library, and Kai found himself completely immersed in their project, but his focus was continuously interrupted by the presence of Ren, who sat across from him, tapping away on his laptop. "Hey, could you try to be a little quieter?" Kai said, glancing up with a smirk. "Some of us are trying to study." Ren shot him a playful glare. "You're just jealous because I'm being productive while you're daydreaming." Kai rolled his eyes, but he couldn't help the smile creeping onto his face. "I'm not daydreaming. I'm just thinking about the project." "Sure," Ren said, chuckling softly. "Keep telling yourself that." As they bantered back and forth, the conversation shifted from their project to their personal lives, each sharing snippets of their past, their interests, and what they wanted to do after college. Kai felt surprisingly at ease, his nerves slowly dissipating as they talked. "Well, I never took you for a fan of old movies," Ren said, raising an eyebrow. "You strike me as someone who only watches the latest superhero films." "Hey, those are classics," Kai protested, laughing. "But yeah, I love old movies. There's something timeless about them." Ren leaned back in his chair, a thoughtful expression on his face. "I like the idea of timeless things. It makes you wonder what really matters." They exchanged glances, the moment lingering longer than necessary, and Kai felt his heart race at the intensity in Ren's gaze. It was strange how something so simple could feel so significant. As the weeks passed, their relationship deepened in small, almost imperceptible ways. Kai began to notice the little quirks about Ren, the way he chewed his pen when deep in thought, the way he raked a hand through his hair when he was frustrated, and the dimples that appeared when he smiled genuinely. Conversely, Ren had started picking up on Kai's nervous tics, the way he scratched his ear when anxious, or how his eyes sparkled when he talked about something he loved. Each discovery added layers to their growing connection, creating a bond that felt both thrilling and terrifying. One evening they found themselves working side by side at the library once again, surrounded by stacks of notes and textbooks. As they pored over their project, Kai suddenly felt bold, caught up in the moment. "Hey, do you ever wonder if we'd even be friends if we hadn't started off as rivals?" he asked, glancing sideways at Ren. Ren paused, his pen hovering above the page. "Honestly, I don't know, but I think it's made us stronger. We challenge each other, which is kind of refreshing." "True," Kai replied, feeling a warm glow in his chest. "I guess we're just too stubborn to admit we actually like each other." Ren snorted, shaking his head. "You think that's it? You just like me for my brains?" "No, I like you because you're insufferable," Kai shot back playfully. "It keeps things interesting." "Good to know I'm more than just a brain," Ren teased. But Kai caught a flicker of something deeper in his eyes. The air around them felt charged, and Kai's heart raced as he realized he wanted to lean closer, to bridge the gap between them. The moment stretched out, and just as Kai felt himself inching forward, their study session was interrupted by a loud burst of laughter from a group of students nearby. Later that night, as they packed up their things, Kai felt a surge of courage bubbling inside him. The tension had been building for weeks, and tonight felt like a pivotal moment. "Hey, Ren," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "I wanted to ask you something." "Sure," Ren replied, his expression shifting to curiosity. "Do you ever feel like there's more to this? Like between us?" Kai asked, his heart pounding. He took a deep breath, hoping he wasn't misreading the situation. Ren's eyes widened slightly, and for a moment the teasing facade melted away. Before he could finish, the moment shattered as another group of students walked by, their boisterous laughter echoing through the library. Kai felt his cheeks heat up, embarrassment flooding in as he realized he had put Ren on the spot. "Never mind. Kai said quickly, backtracking. It's not important. Just forget I said anything. Ren opened his mouth to protest, but the moment slipped away. Okay, if you say so. Kai picked up his things, avoiding Ren's gaze. The weight of his unspoken words hung in the air between them, thick and palpable. As they walked out of the library, the cold night air greeted them, and Kai felt a mix of frustration and regret. The next day, they met at their usual cafe for a study session. The atmosphere was lively, but the unaddressed tension from the night before lingered like an unsung melody. Hey, Ren said, breaking the silence that hung between them. About yesterday, you seemed like you wanted to say something. Kai swallowed hard, the knot in his stomach tightening. It was nothing, just a thought. Come on, Kai, you can't just brush it off like that, Ren urged, his expression earnest. I'm your partner in this. You can tell me anything. Kai felt his heart race at the sincerity in Ren's voice. It was an invitation to be vulnerable, but the fear of rejection loomed large. I just thought, maybe we've grown closer, and I didn't know if you felt the same. Ren was silent for a moment, the weight of his gaze steady. Honestly, I think we have, but I'm not sure what it means. Their eyes locked, and Kai felt a rush of courage. He leaned in slightly, their faces almost touching, the world around them fading into a blur. I guess I just don't want to lose what we have. Neither do I, Ren admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. Just as it felt like the moment would finally resolve the tension between them, the cafe door swung open, and a group of their classmates spilled in, laughing and chatting loudly. The moment was shattered once again, and Kai pulled back, his heart sinking. As they returned to their studies, the air was heavy with unspoken words. Each glance felt charged, yet the opportunity to address their feelings slipped further away. Kai couldn't shake the feeling of disappointment, but also an exhilarating hope. Maybe they were moving closer to something real, something meaningful. But with each interruption, it felt like they were dancing on the edge of a precipice, afraid to take the leap. Finally, as they finished their study session, Ren turned to Kai, his expression serious yet soft. Hey, no matter what happens, I'm glad we met. You've made this year interesting. Kai smiled, his heart warming at Ren's words. Same here. I wouldn't trade this for anything. As they walked out of the cafe together, the tension still lingered, but Kai felt a flicker of hope igniting within him. Maybe they were closer to discovering what lay beyond their rivalry, something deeper, more profound.